the party, of course.
Actually, PDP as it stands today is working on restructuring the party itself. And that will involve constitutional reforms. One of the problems we've identified, like I've said earlier, is the governance. This reforms done. Of course, time comes, you begin to see that party supremacy will come to be.
Governors sponsor the parties. In Nigeria, the governors sponsor the political parties. So how do you from the hands of the governors?
It is very possible when you also push the sponsorship back to the people. Because part of the reforms is that every party member must begin to fund the party by means of a registration and a means of renewing your membership as it has to do with your financial status and contributions. Imagine PDP having 1 million members in a Nigeria of about 200 million people. And then each of these 1 million members are paying 1,000 naira as party dues per month.
Yeah.
That's 1 billion.
Okay.
How many governors can boast of such money?
Okay.
And so just return power to the people by allowing the people to sponsor the party.
But do you see this happening? Because,
Yes, I see it happening because the move is on.
You know why I asked the question?
Yes.
Now, the person who made us remember this conversation was talking about how Atiku will be expelled or would be, I don't want to use the word expelled, but, his structure will be removed from the party. Atiku is fighting to be in the party because he said 2027.
We have heard of that many, many years ago.
Okay.
And they've talked about expulsion of Atiku, suspension of Atiku. One thing they must understand is Atiku is not PDP.
Okay.
Atiku was our former presidential candidate and, of course, a founding member of PDP. Today, just like you saw it happen in this country a few months back, where people trooped into the Labour Party because of the person of Peter Obi, leave it. You are going to see over time, including PC, things will happen and people will begin, the youths and the people that own the future of this country will begin to take their destiny into their hands. So it's not likely that things will continue to run the way it is.
You were the spokesman for the Atiku Campaign Council here in the state. The question I want to ask is, after, of course, Atiku had reacted to the Supreme Court judgment, and then he had said that he would not leave the political scene. He will still be, very visible in the political scene, and the statement has not been interpreted to mean that he might run for 2027. So, looking at all of these things that you have said about restructuring, do you see Atiku, emerging yet again? And of course, there is still the talk about Nyesom Wike still being a member of the PDP.
Well, you've said two things here. For Atiku, it is his personal decision if he wants to run the elections during the forthcoming election. It's his personal decision, and he's not going to get the wisdom of the party. Many people said that Atiku didn't have a chance in winning the 2022 presidential primaries, but we saw it. He won, convincingly, and so clearly it's his decision to make. If, as at that time when he presents himself, we are going to look at all the candidates that will be available. If he is still the best, we will go for him. If he is not, and there are other candidates who shows that they can give a promising future to Nigeria, why not? It's not cast in stone. 2027 is too far for any person to begin to predict. We don't even know how many person will be alive till then.
True.
We don't even know whether the Hamas-Palestinian war will extend to this.
No, it would not. I know you're joking, but it would not. We don't pray for war, please. But then again,
and then talking about if the ex-governor who is now FCT minister is still a member of PDP.
No, he says he's a member. But I'm saying, how does that, if Atiku would run, how does that then impact?
Well, clearly, even though he said so, I have my own maxim that says that people are not with you because they say they are. People are with you because they show that they are. So even though he continues to say that he's a member of the PDP, has he shown that he's a member of the PDP?
But the PDP governor or governors forum were yet again frolicking, dancing, and
like I said, they are playing politics of self-preservation. Governors wants to preserve their seats. That's all.
And so, as a politician that you are, if the ex-governor is able to help them preserve, will they not also help him achieve his goals and his aspirations
People has
to
always
control
helped
the
people in
party?
politics and they come back to fall aside. Governor Wike helped Amudu Sheriff to be PDP chairman and he said no. So, are you getting me now?
I am.
Good luck. Obasanjo helped Good Luck to be president, and then when he became president, he said, "No, leave me to run my tenure." So people help people to get somewhere.
Fair
It does
point.
that agreement does not always stay. Agreement is not always agreement.
Fair point, fair point. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When I do come back, we'll now bring the conversation to River State, and we're looking at the political drama where gladiators are fighting for control of the party in the state. We've called it political structure and every other name that exists. But I'd like to get your thoughts on that one coming from the commercial break.
Thank you very much.
All right, then you stay tuned. I'll open the phone lines as well when the time is due. To stay tuned. right, 29 minutes gone past the hour. Yes, you're still listening to Hard Facts 92.3 Nigeria Info. We're looking at the facts concerning the PDP in Nigeria as an opposition party. And I've titled this conversation, The Power Play in the People's Democratic Party. I am Kala Nwibubasa, and it's good to have you on the other side of the radio. But I have a guest in the studio. I'm talking with, on the show, Leloonu Nwibubasa. And he's a PDP stakeholder, a strong one at that, and he was the spokesperson for the Atiku campaign organization here in Rivers State. It's good to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Kalada.
All right, so we're done at least for now talking about the power play at the national level as we see it now. But let's come to the state. Last week, it was a movie, I should say, in Rivers State. The political drama was scintillating, was captivating, negative, yeah, but everybody was talking about it at the time. From the fire that gutted the House of Assembly or a portion of the House of Assembly complex to the governor being tear gassed and the statements he made, to the PDP Governors Forum going to mediate and the elders of Rivers State, and by the way, I believe you're an elder as well, to the elders, trying to mediate and all of that. It was a series of drama, and I'm wondering, power play yet again, because we've heard several stories. We've had some people say, they're trying to choke the governor, they're stifling the governor, they don't want the governor to breathe. Others are saying, no, political structure, you can't have my political structure. And there have been several explanations as to what is happening. Even though the governor has now come out to say it is a father and son situation, it still smells like power play. So in theory, the leader of the party in a sane climb should be, the chairman of that party, as far as I'm concerned. But in our political kind of play, it is the strongest political person in that locality. In this case, you as a PDP member, who owns the PDP? Own is not the right word. Who controls the PDP structure in the state?
Well, clearly, let's look at how the PDP structures in states has been operationalized.
Okay.
Actually, we have the state working committee, and then we have outside the state working committee, we also have the state executive committee of the party. And the PDP has always leaned on the governance of the party to become the leader of the party in the state. So every state has the leader of the party in the person of the governor of that state. And so as of today, Sim Fubara ought to be the leader.
When you say ought, is that not the case?
Well, why? Because if there are insinuations and doubts of performance and functioning, you can actually say ought to be. In person he is, but in function is he. That's it.
Okay.
So that's why I use the word ought to be. And then when you talk about structure runs from state to the zone, which is the senatorial zones, and of course to the LGAs and to the ward and even to the unit. There is no human being who can stand anywhere to say I own the party structure in a state. Because you may own the party structure like you claim. Can you own the smallest structure of the party in a particular person's unit who is also a member of the party that is not aligned to your ideology? It's difficult to say so. So I think it is more of a maniac expression believe.
But then again, can I come in? Then again, if majority of the units in a state decide to go with one individual, is that not controlling?
No. Nobody decides to go with an individual. Politics is local. You've heard about that,
of course.
And so, because politics is local, people tend to aggregate to where their interest goes to, and so this aggregation is what determines what becomes the holistic idea. But in a situation where people seem to be emasculated to believe that only one person can control the system, you see, when you talk about the crisis in the party in Rivers State and between the governor and his godfather,
his political father, yeah,
it's clear. Number one, we all sat here in Rivers State. That's why we said from the beginning, you will go back, that PDP need reforms. Where in any party should a sitting governor sit down and buy forms for every representative of the people, both at the state and the national level.
All right.
And then people didn't see it coming, that a man who purchases form for you has eventually taken away your inalienable right to personally vie for a position, and therefore has privatized your political interest and has put it in his pocket. However, one thing that the man who did that forgot, which is the FCT minister, was that when he was doing this, he felt he was doing them a favor and that he was bringing the money from himself. But we must correct him. The money with which he used to purchase those forms that he claims to have bought for them, they were state funds.
Okay.
And because they were state funds, they were taxpayers' money. Okay. And so every person who inherited that, they didn't inherit his personal funds, they inherited his state funds.
Okay, I like your political analogy. But then I would like to ask, before I continue questioning in this direction, I'd like to ask you, for those who were not in the camp of the former governor, during or before the elections, have you been integrated back into the
We
party?
were never we were not disintegrated in the first place.
You know what I mean. Of course, I mentioned
we don't need integration. We've always been the members of the party that has stood on the right course. So if you talk about integration, we should integrate them.
So now the question then is, are you a part of the because they say it's a party affair and the party is handling the situation, are you a part of the mediation process for peace to reign?
Mediation was done at the national level. Party has their organs and how to handle these issues.
Okay.
Apart from that, of course, it was mostly something done in the PDP governance forum. Okay. I've not really seen the NWC and the neck of the party coming into this. So it is just an arm of the leadership of the party.
This is why I'm not asking, so what has the party in the state done? Because that's why we're talking of the power play in Rivers State. So what has the PDP, like you said, taxpayers' money were used to buy this.
Right now, the party in the state actually have lost their identity. They are actually amphibious. I am not sure they are terrestrial or aquatic, because when you are in a party and you join your leader to vote against your party in a presidential election, it puts you against your party. So even though you have sworn the constitution of your party to defend your party, at that point you have denied the very reason. So when we talk about reintegration, these are the people that, first of all, we need to reorient them, take them through a lot of cognitive reorganization so that they understand why they were there, and then reintegrate them into the party. The real PDP are the people who stood for the values of the PDP, and not those who played PDP and APC at the same time.
Let me get you right now. You're saying the PDP in Rivers State is amphibious. Is that what you said? I
said the leadership.
The leadership
is amphibious. They are neither terrestrial nor aquatic.
All right. Okay. So I will open the phone lines now. You can join the conversation. We're looking at the People's Democratic Party, the power play in the PDP, both at the national and at the state level. And of course, at the state level is where it affects you and I directly. I always say politics beget policies that affect you and I. And we're seeing it play out. Well, we've seen it play out last week. It's lingered into this week. and we're still talking about it. But I would throw one more question. As a member of the PDP, and given that your party is in power in Rivers State, whether you support it or did not support it, it's your party,
sure,
right? How would you like to see this situation handled? You are a strong member of the party. You may not be in official positions in the party. I do not know. I stand to be corrected. But you are a member of the party. How would you like, even at the state level, the chairman, Desmond Akawa, and other people in the party, how would you like them to settle this issue?
First, I want this matter settled, and of course, I'll give my opinion.
Okay.
Clearly, I will speak to the main antagonist in this whole play, and the main antagonist is the FCT minister. My advice to former Governor Wike is that, one, you help His Excellency Sim Fubara to become governor. Remember that people helped you to become governor, and those people who helped you allowed you to run your government for 8 years without interference. So you must return the same favor to the man that you've given, the man that you chose above all others, the man in whom you were well pleased. At this point, it's too early, and it will be regarded as total impatience and intolerance, and of course concluded to be political intimidation if the former governor continues to put pressure on the governor to begin to do things the way he wants and doesn't allow him express himself and allow him work for the people of Rivers State. And for the present governor, this will be my advice. My advice to him is your first interest, loyalty, commitment, as you swore on that oath, was to defend and protect Rivers people. And you reiterated it during the crisis when you stood on the podium to speak, that you were going to defend and protect Rivers people. You must continue to defend that interest. Truth be told, at the end of 4 or 8 years, as the case may be, the former governor will not be accountable for the 8 years that you were governor. You will be accountable for yourself for that 8 years.
All right, let's post you now. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp messages, you go to the number 0809-030-6416. This message says Atiku should go. Rogers from Oroabali. Okay. Let's see. By the provisions of the PDP constitution, the governor of a state is the leader of the party in that state from Ingeri, good head, good life. Is that true?
Clearly, I've said that.
Okay. All right. Gift from Yenegua. Let's get your thoughts. Gift, welcome on the show.
Thank you, man of the people. That is why you're the man of the people. Wonderful topic.
All right,
and, I welcome your guest.
All right.
Thank you.
Let me tell Dr. Nwibubasa, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know him as a institutional or real PDP. These are people that supported a man that used the word that PDP, which is Atiku Abubakar. He was the spokesman now.
Yeah.
He never supported Sim Fubara. He never worked for Sim Fubara.
It's that true.
I wonder why it's not just a radio station. He has been going everywhere. I watched him
Gift. That's not, we're not here to attack him. We're talking. We're looking at the issues.
I'm not attacking him.
Okay, let's hear you then.
Listen to me carefully so that you know where I'm coming from.
I'm listening now.
The word, real PDP.
Okay.
What is the meaning of real PDP? When the man that you supported was not even supposed to be part of the people that contested this 2023 election. Because we and every other person allowed the North to contest 2019 election. It was the affair of North. When it was the time of South, himself and some other persons betrayed the system and worked against the system. And today it's calling people like Wike and Sim that they are not the real PDP people. Is it a real PDP man in that studio?
Okay.
They'll be putting fire in this matter. And
right.
I bet you they will be disappointed at the end of the day. The structure is talking about at the end of Wike. Let me remind him. Wike had a structure because I followed him up. Syria, it was even Madam, Patient, our mother, here from Bayelsa, or Krika woman that married to our brother, that even decided to say the only person that can withstand Amechi was with it. And they brought in together to their idea and they work together.
All right.
What is he saying?
All right, thank you very much, Gibbs. I've got to go. I've got to go. Thank you. All right, thank you very much. So he said a thing or two. He said something about you not supporting the party during the election. Can you expatiate? How did your support go during the governorship election in the state?
Clearly, there was a general election in the state, and of course, we know that the party was polarized.
Okay.
And of course, Governor Wike was on one side supporting the APC, and we were on one side supporting the PDP at the national.
Okay.
I had no business with the state elections because, as at that time, the then governor had no choice but to work with his godfather or father in any way. So, where we are now, we've moved beyond whatever he was talking about here.
Of course,
we've moved beyond it completely. It is very clear to people what the interests of people were when they talk about power moving to the south or to the east. That's not what I want to go into now. Now we've come to a point where there is an issue, and that issue is before us. It is not about who supported Sim or not. Whether I supported Sim or not, River State belongs to all of us.
I agree.
And so of course, the matter of Sim today is it a party matter? There are a lot of Rivers people that has no party, but they say, look, leave the governor to work. So, in my right as a Rivers person, party or no party, I had my opinion.
All right, let's post you. Let's listen to Eric from Thai. I missed that one. Ida from Inkoro. Welcome, Ida. What is on your mind? Let's hear you.
Kalada, thank you very much.
Yeah, bless you too.
Question with the leader of the party in Rivers State, which like the golden governor of Rivers State, Asim Kumara.
Okay.
You can call meeting and everybody attend the meeting, which I know that the former governor cannot call meeting in Rivers State. I want to thank your guest in the I don't like him, but now
okay.
Yes, I'm telling you this.
Okay. Okay. So there's a political shift.
I believe that what is the golden governor of Rivers State?
All right then. All right, thank you. All right, thank you, Ida from Inco. Let's see on the WhatsApp platform. Lady V says, good afternoon, Kalada. Please ask your guest, what will he call those who voted for APC candidate as against the PDP candidate? Lady V, he just answered. We've moved past that. I mean, we're looking at governance now, and we're looking at how, the party can be a major opposition to the government at the national. Political oppression on SIM is oppression on Rivers people and must be.
And now I'm sure everybody has come back to a natural ground.
Okay.
So going forward, the ex-governor, the current governor, the leaders of PDP in the state should sit down in a round table and forge a way out of all this. Ensure that everybody reconciles, come back together, and everybody who is doing any right should be given his right. Because there are a lot of persons out there waiting for them to disunite.
All right.
Since we realize that there are a lot of persons who are pushing him today, they never meant well for him. They only want to see his downfall so that, they can realign either to benefit themselves or to benefit their family. So since you trade with caution, not to listen to all advice, and the Prime Minister too should trade with caution, not to listen to all advice, so that these issues will not mess any of them up. Because at best, what I think is at best for them right now is total reconciliation. Whether you are for Atiku before the election or you are for Wike, sit on a round table and resolve whatever the difference is, so that all of us can contribute to the development of Rivers State. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prince from MOA LG. I've got Braid from Transamadi. Braid, welcome on the show. What is on your mind, please?
Good evening, Canada.
Yeah, greetings to you.
And greetings to the guests in the studio.
Greetings to you.
Thank you very much. If we have just about 10 people like you in Rivers State, I think Rivers State will be a better place politically. Yes, I'm not a fan of the executive governor of Rivers State, Munala Ifubara. I'm a fan to Tony Cole, but in this case, I seem to be in the same boat with Sim. Because somebody somewhere will be taking 25% of Rivers State all allocation. And so that is somebody who disbanded Rivers State Sustainable Development. And look at Songhai Farm. Look at ROSSD, demonstration schools, pensioners. River State Road Management Authority, all those money being put into the back pocket of such a person.
All right.
And the person said he has River State in his farm. I think similarly, should have taken position of River State governance. Because if anything happens, River State will hold him responsible.
Right.
It's why I'm also protect life and property, and also he has to demonstrate that to River people. Somebody should not become a cash cow to River people.
Right.
And also, I'm appealing to the governor of River State. Please, to the guest in the studio, you can send him a mail that let River State aircraft be used by River State governor. Somebody cannot seize our aircraft.
Braid, those are allegations. We do not have proof to that effect.
I'm with you, Canada.
When you say stole the aircraft, what do you mean? How do you mean?
I didn't say stole. I said Tim should be in possession of River State aircraft.
Okay.
Because he's the former minister, he's the minister that is in the possession of that aircraft. Even the governor cannot travel with our aircraft. That is the kind of problem the River State governor is into. So we should all hands should be on deck to bring the governor up on that road. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Miss Taiwo. Taiwo was calling from Igbaraja. I'll just quickly read certain text messages or WhatsApp messages, and I'll get back to my guest. Time is fast spent. This one says, Kalada, time to act. The political drama can be a blessing in disguise as they unite the state to face the agent of destabilization together. As the saying goes, today's youth will be tomorrow's nation builder. Therefore, the youths must mobilize themselves and resist any maximum approach against the state. All political leadership in Rivers State must sincerely fulfill their duties and act in the interest of the masses. However, a lack of discipline amongst the Rivers political leadership and crooked priorities have left Rivers for years in a state of disarray. We need peace, and this is coming from Jimbo Baraye Caribou Nelson. Thank you very much for that one. I guess you're texting from a good town. This one says, I don't know the kind of peace some people are calling for between Governor Fubara and Wike. And are they talking about a peace in the cage? A peace in the cage is like a slave in the cage who has no freedom. The reason why Wike is still relevant is because as a minister and he's close to the president, he's not trying what he did in 2014, 2015 to Governor Amechi, using federal influence against the sitting governor. If Wike is not a member of President Tinubu's cabinet, where would he have such influence to fight the governor? It is obvious that Wike cannot survive outside political power. It is unfortunate that some people are seeing Wike as their god who have committed no sin. Rivers is not a private property belonging to one man. From Anonymous. I like the way your guest responded. Well said. Let people I don't like attacking people. I've said this 1,000 times, so I'm going to skip that message. So it says, good afternoon, Katie. This same issue happened in Edo State when the slogan was no godfatherism. Today, Governor Obaseki wants to be in control. After seems 8 years, I would want to see his position about the successor. To me, 25% of revenue is neither here nor there. My advice is for seem to be wise. Eddie from Rumodara. Let's come back to you. Someone said something earlier, and I think I liked the position of that caller. He said everybody, irrespective of who you supported during the electioneering cycle or season, it is time for everybody to come and shake hands, especially being that you're all from the same party. And, you know, the PDP, once again, is in control of the affairs of the state. Yes, it's governance for all of Rivers people, but it's a political party that is occupying the structure of government. The House of Assembly members, the PDP members, the people in Brick House, the PDP members. So it's a PDP structure. Are you seeing the Atiku's camp, River State chapter? How can I put it like that? Shaking hands with the other side of the divide.
Well, first of all, I'll correct. There's no Atiku's camp. There was an Atiku's camp
at the time. Yeah.
As of today, the struggle for power has been laid to rest by the Supreme Court judgment. Okay. And so we have one PDP. So right now there are no camps. When election comes and we have aspirants and people are now aligning with different aspirants, you can start talking about camps.
So have you all been in one meeting for the sake of...
That's what I said, that the leadership has to call this meeting. And the biggest problem of the leadership is that they themselves does not know where they stand, because they are watching the dance steps and the drum beat by one man. You've just said here that we have a former PDP governor who is now FCT minister in an APC government. And you had APC people, loyalists of APC that has worked hard for their party, going to pay homage to him. And you have PDP going to pay homage to him. At this point, if you were to tell a child that this man is your father, and the man was black, but the man is saying is so yellow, but the same person is saying your father, how would the child respond?
We're out of time. I mean, I enjoyed the conversation with you, but we are out of time. I've been talking to Leloonu Nwibubasa. He is a PDP strong stakeholder and, you know, a Rivers man. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Stay with us. Nigeria Info. We'll be back.